I think it's the other way around. Yeah, Nick Marriott is he's unstoppable this tournament. He hasn't lost a match yet.
It's true.
Only player.
No, the end boss is who loses. That's the end boss. The end boss is the person that loses the finals.
Yeah.
So you think Nick Marriott's going to lose the finals?
No.
No, so he's the hero. He's the champion of the story.
All right.
Yeah.
So Michael's the evil Delver player.
He's the evil Delver player. That's the end boss. Yeah. We're in the middle of the cave.
Nick Marriott.
Oh look, and yeah, he has to be the evil end boss. He even has a troll, Glenn Jones. I kid. But all right, so
I think Glenn's watching videos of like Kins playing right now.
I guarantee not.
No, he's writing a match report.
Yeah, he's writing. He's working very hard. All right, Mike ends up taking a mulligan. Nick's on the play, keeps his 7, loves it.
All right, so Mike going down to 6 cards now.
Yep.
This is.
I mean, it's not even a bad.
This is America. You know, when people mulligan, generally there's a solemn respect during the time.
Oh, really?
In some places, it's socially acceptable to chant 5 while your opponent's going to 6, which I think is pretty hilarious, actually. I've been in foreign GPs where people have like chanted 5 at me, and I've been like, "Is this really happening? This is what they do?"
5. You're the evil American coming in for the win. That is awesome. I didn't know. I mean, I've done that to friends, and friends have done it to me, but I've never heard like a stranger do it to someone. I mean, I was in the top 8 of a GP, and my opponent mulligans to 5, and I just like kind of pumped the fist, and he's like, looks at me, he's like, "Why don't you feel bad for me? Because I want to win the tournament." Like, what? All right, Mike is good. We're gonna get started, and Nick leads off the action with a
Cathedral of War.
Cathedral of War.
Yeah, kind of a strange thing, you know, a Cathedral of War. That's a kind of scary religion.
I mean, I've never lived in a plains on the Magic universe, but it seems like I wouldn't have lived for too long.
Probably not. Actually, I think you would have been fine. You're a pretty powerful wizard.
Am I?
In comparison to the average Joe.
Okay, sure. I guess I do get
player of the year.
I do get magical powers too. I guess. Yeah, that's fine. I forgot about the magical powers thing. See, I just assume we're all 1/2s because we can kill squirrels, but bears kill us. So everyone's just a 1/2. But if we're there, we have magical powers, or we're like soldiers or something. I'm probably not a soldier.
Probably a pyromancer.
I'm probably undead alchemist. Or not undead alchemist, the driver of the dead. Or whoever the...
Beep beep.
Not Driver of the Dead. What's his... the 3/3 for 3 colorless black that you can sack a guy to coercion them. Coercion them.
Oh,
He's like the guy, he's like the pretty chubby guy that you could just know Hagels everyone and like survives just because he does business with really scary people. Gut shot on Glistener Elf after Green Sun Zenith went to find it. Smuggler, yeah. No, not Smuggler.
I don't know.
Or was it Smuggler? It might have been Smuggler. I don't remember. I might be Nephalia Smuggler.
Alright, so
yeah,
Glistener Elf is going to hit the bin here.
Nephalia Smuggler, that's it.
Nick choosing not to save that with his
mutagenic
growth there.
Yeah.
Just, you know,
you pick your
largely
fights.
Dependent on what he has in his hand.
And now, I mean, if you're going to play Wild Defiance, why not protect it? Thought Scour, Million over Ponder Snapcaster Mage. All right. Everyone just joining in. This is Blue-White Talran Delver against Mono Green Infect in the finals of the SCG Open Kansas City. I'm Brad Nelson. I'm here with Jake Van Lunen. And we have this game and maybe 2 more before we are going to be going on break, but we will have a couple replays, and then Legacy will begin again in round 3. So Probe reveals a hand of Mutagenic Growth, Gut Shot, and 2 Forests. That is almost enough to be lethal. The gut shot can actually target the Inkmoth Nexus, giving it +3/+3, and then the
No, it is lethal. It's just 10 infect on myself.
Oh yeah, because of the
cathedral.
actual cathedral. Yeah. So he does have lethal right now. That card, Wild Defiance, is so ridiculous with infect.
Yeah.
How can you pay 1 mana and have a 10/10 infect creature? It's too ridiculous.
All right. Some people online are asking why Merfolk doesn't play with Cavern of Souls. Days is so important.
Days?
Days.
Yes. All right, so Mike says go. Can't tap out.
And can pretty much never ever tap out.
All right, the only thing Nick can't do is if he's going to go all in, he cannot play land because he needs to make sure. So he is not going to go all in on this. He'll take 2 turns because you don't want to play an additional land if you're going to put all your spells.
All right. And I mean, it's playing the extra land pre-combat. I mean, he's going to get an extra infect counter, but the problem is that if Mike does decide to go ahead and
snag, then he can freely tap out.
Snag, then he can freely tap out because Nick can't replay the Inkmoth Nexus. So
yeah, I don't like playing the additional land.
I think you can wait till post-combat. See what happens.
The difference between 1 infect isn't that big right now, but the difference between the big difference is like not being able to replay that. All right, Snapcaster Mage at end of turn is going to go get Thoughtscour, and all Mike's thinking is, oh geez, I am so glad he didn't kill me. That's fine. That's fine. The Vapor Snag. That's a little tell for me that I will go all in next time because he almost binned the Snapcaster Mage, and I feel like that's nervous thinking about something else, just mechanics, because you're like too far into your own head, because you're like too far behind. So whenever somebody does something that usually doesn't happen like that, when it's just something that you should mechanically know, that's a tell for me to just attack.
I mean, last turn Mike's only out was Snap.
Yes, that's the only way he could have survived the game.
Nick decided to play around that. I mean, sometimes you want to force them to have it, but it's worth it to play around things most of the time. Mike with a pike.
Mike and his pike. Alright, so another Inkmoth Nexus. That's beautiful.
Now he can kind of.
Well, now he just
in a little bit.
pumps once. He doesn't have to use both of his spells.
And I think you go for the mutagenic growth.
Yeah, and just goes for the gut shot. That's 6. If you use the mutagenic growth, that was lethal. Alright, he's just going to drop Mike down to 1. Doesn't want to waste the mutagenic growth. Even though I'm pretty sure Nick miscounted there, I feel like he should have just went there try to get there with the mutagenic growth. Like,
just go for it after the gut shot.
I mean,
I think you just cast the mutagenic growth instead of the gut shot.
Well, no.
But I think
he
it was
made
a mistake.
Yeah.
I think he miscounted.
Yes.
He was off by 1. The Magic Internet asking us what we think Tier 1 standard decks will look like after the rotation.
Who knows? We need Ravnica. All right, so Nick Marriott takes in quick game 1, and we're going to come back to the booth, and we have something very special to give away, and I'm guessing all of you already know what that is.
That's right. Is it a water buffalo?
It's a pony.
A pony?
We're going to give away a pony. That's in the budget, right, Jeremy?
Are we doing ponies?
No.
We're out of ponies. Hey, come on. Jeez,
we gave ponies away for top 8, and now we don't have one for someone.
We were just giving them away all weekend here. We were giving away ponies, and now we don't have any left for the people who are watching
and rainbows. Yes. We bottle rainbows at Star City Games.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty incredible. You just open up the bottle and just rainbows start shooting out everywhere.
Yeah. Only one. We can't give away all of them. One per customer. Okay, anyway. We had a really good run by a deck, and it made top 4, and it ended up losing to Infect in top 4 in like 12 minutes. Wolf Run Blue is a surprise new deck, and who is the original deck designer that wrote about this deck on Star City Games last week? He wrote a primer about it. He also won in Washington, D.C. Which player was the originator of the deck, also the first champion with the deck from last week?
Who designed the new Wolf Run Blue deck?
Hint, he looks like Keanu Reeves.
No, he doesn't.
Very much so.
That's not even close.
Whoa.
That's like a terrible clue because people will be like, looks like Keanu Reeves.
He does. He looks like a young Keanu Reeves. Very easily looks like him.
You've seen Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure?
Yes, he looks just like him.
No way.
Yes, he does.
No way.
All right.
I'll give another clue. He's from Sugarloaf.
Don't tell them that. They'll get that. Now they don't have to figure it out.
Sugarloaf, New York, a wonderful town. It's great. It's a great place to take a day date with your significant other. They have like candle shops, a lot of little restaurants,
Ooh.
like homemade cheeses and wines. A lot of the restaurants have fireplaces, so in late fall it's especially nice. The trees are various colors. And Reed Duke lives there. He grew up in a flower patch. I didn't necessarily say that who it was. What he said. I don't know what anybody's talking about.
You ruined it. Now they know. Okay, we're going back to the match. Oh, I guess technical difficulties. We're going to stay here. Let's talk
about... The blue slope just became the green slope.
Did that really happen?
What?
Huh?
I'm saying, like, the difficulty of the question.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, let's discuss more about these rainbows we're giving away.
Yeah,
So all you have to do is sign up for an SCG Standard or Legacy Open, and you get a pony and a rainbow. Jeremy's like having an aneurysm right now.
Yeah. Ponies and rainbows.
All right, so
they're free here.
Infect is up a game, but Delver now gets to make more cyber changes, and that's the big thing. Like, Delver getting to play in a game 2 is always better than a game 1. You mostly have to rely on the pressure you have, and your spells are fine. But after you get to Slim, like, he's probably going to take out his Blade Splashers that are pretty weak. He gets to bring in a Divine Offering. He gets to bring in another Mana Leak and 3 Mental Missteps. That's the big one. 3 Mental Missteps, and he gets to bring Geist. No, Timely's bad. You bring in Geist. No, you bring in the highest pressure. All you want to do is get him dead. That's the main goal with Infect. Because the longer the game,
stay on the board, you bring the guys.
The longer the game plays out, the worse chance you have of winning because Infect's cards are so much more powerful. Like every creature has 2 power, and every pump spell is like +6. So if you're in top deck wars, you're in a lot of trouble. But I do feel like this game's it's going to go to 3. Like, it's very hard for a Delver deck, as long as he doesn't mulligan a lot. It's very hard for a Delver deck to not win on the play against Infect, because it's such a good matchup for Delver. See if anyone figured it out. See, they got it. I think it's because you gave it to them for free. My question was hard, and you just gave it to them on a silver platter.
They could have easily looked up who won last week.
They might have got the Legacy player.
Unless they didn't have the internet.
Do you guys not have the internet?
Yeah. I mean, most of the world doesn't have the internet still.
Aww.
It's very sad.
No, it's
to all of you out there who don't have the internet.
It's awesome. Not having the internet would be great. To all of you that aren't listening, I have an important announcement you won't hear.
So some people are asking how the food poisoning is going. It's okay. We were pretty sick last night.
We were laughing about it though.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So here's the thing. So when we get food poisoning, all right, I'm violently ill. I'm like throwing up. I'm in a really bad way last night. And Brad's like, my tummy hurts.
Oh, I had my scare though.
Yes. That's yeah. That's true.
Let's just say we were lulling a lot.
Yeah, it was funny.
But we feel
Funny
better
story.
this morning, and everything is good, and we are ready for an entire day of Magic. We do get a good hour-and-a-half break. That's enough time for me to eat some breakfast and play some games, because I don't know if you guys know this, but if I have to spend 2 days talking about Magic, I fiend for games. I'm actually fiending. It's like an addiction. I have to go play something. Like, I just need to play a couple games. I can't be around this much Magic and not think about Magic, not play it. I just have to.
It feels so good when somebody hands you their deck and they're like, hey, you want to see my brew? And I'm like, sure. And I pick up their deck and I just start shuffling. I'm like, oh.
This is... thank you for this. You have no idea what you just did for me. And they're like new sleeves too. It just feels so good. Yeah, it's home, man. It's home. But there are a lot of benefits to doing commentary, like not wearing pants, hanging out with your best friend, just a whole bunch of things.
So new sleeve stories. I played in a PTQ about a month and a half ago now. It was, my first tournament in over a year, and twice during the tournament, my opponent was shuffling their deck, and while shuffling their deck, just like basically threw their deck all over the table, like all over me. Yeah. Like it just happens to me. It's like decks are just like magnetized toward me, and their deck was just like all face up on the table. I'm sorry. I'll help you pick it. Do you want me to help you pick it up? They're like, no. And I'm like, yeah, do you want me to like turn my head? Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Like, twice in one tournament.
I love the trolls. Josh Rabbits. All right, so we are back into things. They're just waiting on us. Or there might be a mid-round deck check in the finals of a tournament. Who knows? Okay, there isn't one of those.
I think Marriott is wearing a red Hollister shirt and a red Hollister sweater and a Miami Heat hat.
He looks like he would be a Floridian.
You think he's Floridian?
No, but he wants to be, probably. All right, so we have an unusual one.
Cathedral double ink, or Inkmoth double Cathedral.
Yep, with 2 Apostles' Blessings and Mental Misstep, but you can't really attack with a turn 2 Inkmoth with that hand.
No.
So you're gonna have to just like spend a ton of time setting up with it.
I mean, once you do start attacking, it's pretty hard to interact with that hand, isn't it?
No, you just kill the Inkmoth and then he can't do anything. I mean, odds are he'll drop a forest.
And he has double blessing.
Yeah, I mean, you go 1 for 1, but Mike does have 4 Vapor Snakes, 4 Gutshots, and Snapcaster Mages.
Yeah, and here, Mike did not have a turn 1 Delver, and he really wants that against Nick, because what Nick's going to start doing is Nick's going to start having these board presences where Mike just can't tap his mana for a whole bunch of turns, otherwise he'll die.
Alright, so probe number 3. It's going to reveal that he drew a Green Sun Zenith.
Yeah, but the worst card Nick could have drawn in that spot. Nick with 2 Green Sun Zeniths in his deck here this week. And a Forest off the top for Nick. Let's see. Probably going to Green Sun Zenith for 1. Oh, instead choosing to cast a Glistener Elf.
Alright, so Glistener Elf gets Gutshot, Apostle Blessing, or Mental Misstep to follow.
So Nick got to decide whether or not he wants to use an Apostle's Blessing this early.
I mean, I would rather use an Apostle's Blessing than a Mental Misstep. All of Mike's spells cost 1 anyway. Why not use it when you have mana open? Keep the free spell for when you don't.
I agree.
Alright, so let's
now
see
Mike
if...
has Snapcaster here. That's going to be really nice.
Yes, just to make sure that he can get that thing dead.
And Mike with that Glacial Fortress.
Very strong play.
Yeah, I mean...
Alright, so here's another gut shot.
Let's see. probably going to go ahead and misstep this one.
Yeah, alright. Nick goes to 16 using mental misstep. Alright, Manalik gets rid of the Glistener Elf, and a grand total of...
A lot of spells were cast that turn.
A grand total of 14 life has been, or 12 life has been used for Bane for spells. Alright, Green Sun Zenith for Glistener Elf gets another creature on the board for Nick. And look at this, it's just like he has that, he has an Inkmoth Nexus and 2 Cathedral Ores. It's just like your lands are doing the damage for you. It's just...
I mean, that 1 mana creature is basically doing 6 per attack.
Yeah.
Because of double Cathedral.
Whenever Mike needs a lot of pressure, or he's just not going to be able to beat this. He's actually just going to get attritioned out by the Cathedral Wars. Because it's not like you're just dealing 1 damage with these things. They're coming in for 2 or 3 each turn. That's only 4 attacks that you need. Alright, Runetender's Plague plus a Delver might be enough to race, because Nick doesn't have a ton of pump effects.
And Glistener Elf coming in. And that's for 3 Infect. Mike finds Thought Scour, flips this Insectile Aberration. Equips Pike, attacks for a lot of damage. And that's 9 damage that he's attacking for. Nick going to fall down to 7 life here.
Yeah, if he can't kill him next turn, I mean, he does have an Inkmoth Nexus that can block. And he does have 2 ways to protect it, but that's still... he still needs to find 1 more point of damage with the Glistener Elves.
Yeah, if he can find a Titanic Growth.
Or Mutagenic Growth.
Is Mutagenic Growth enough? Oh, he has one in hand already?
Well, he's going to be able to block with the Inkmoth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after
I'm
that...
not winning this turn.
Oh, winning this turn. No, it's very hard for him to win this turn. But he just drew another Inkmoth, so it's going to be rough for Mike.
Alright. Glistener Elf coming in. And Mike now at 6 Infect. Not scouring himself.
Yeah, trying to find more ways to interact with this Infect deck.
A bunch of mana untapped now for Mike. I'm gonna go ahead and
gonna make sure he doesn't die. I think
Inkmoths
that's a correct choice.
I'll agree with you.
Yeah, making sure you don't die.
Not dying, pretty tech. So at this point, any pump spell or Cathedral of War will make that Glistener Elf lethal, and Nick does have a Mental Misstep and an Apostle's Blessing in hand.
Yes.
However, Moorland Haunt is going to mean that Nick's... Ooh, Nick still no pump spell here.
Yeah, alright, so Moorland Haunt's going to get in front of the Glistener Elf. I just love this game. It's just...
Yep.
Send my guy in block, send my guy in block. Who has more chump blockers? Alright, so in response, he's going to Apostle's Blessing, giving protection from white.
Just 5. So...
I wonder if Mike said pro blue. What's going on? I feel like there's some... Uh-oh. Okay, so something about just when things were happening. That's the discussion right now, so...
Okay.
Alright, so for some reason I think Mike got to block there. So Nick wasted a spell and got to block? That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I don't understand what just happened.
All right, Vapor Snag.
Oh,
Mental
yeah, he
Misstep.
named blue.
He did name blue? Okay,
blue.
yeah. All right. Mental Misstep going to 1. But because he's at 1 life, he still needs to find a way to deal an extra point of damage.
Let's see.
I mean, if Mike is out of Moreland Hunt tokens, though.
Yeah, I think he is.
Yeah. Send it in. Alright, here's a Snapcaster Mage.
Nick's probably going to back into that.
Yeah. Alright, so we are going to the next game. Alright, Mike evens it up, and now Nick is going to be on the play with his Infect deck. But as you can see, after having access to 3 Mental Missteps, 4 Gut Shots, 4 Vapor Snags, it's so much to handle for an Infect deck. All you're trying to do is pump your 1/1s, and that is so many spells that either cost 0 or 1 mana that interact with you. It's too much. Along with all the Delver Secrets that you don't interact with, so they have pressure really quick in the game. So all Mike's trying to find now is a really early source of damage, like a Delver Secrets. Geist Snake Draft works too if you have enough free spells, or just a ton of those interactive spells in Snapcaster Mages. Those work as well.
Yeah, I mean, generally when you're playing against mono green, in fact, the lower your mana curve is, the better you're going to be. However, I mean, always the chance that anybody can beat anybody. Yeah, so,
yeah, just to re-clarify for you guys at home confused about that Apostle's Blessing, Nick did say blue at first on accident, and then immediately wanted to change it to white, but because he did say blue, they made him hold it.
yeah. No takebacks.
No takebacks in the finals.
Yeah. Finals play some no takebacks. I think Marriott, some people online questioning the play. Everybody makes, nomenclature mistakes from time to time. He's clearly a good player. I mean, he hasn't lost a match this tournament.
I mean, he did bring a deck that was very good for this tournament, though. Like,
yeah.
I mean, if I could restart this tournament, I would want to play this deck.
Yeah. I also don't think this is the easiest deck to play, though. Yes, it wins in a very small window, and yes, it's definitely easier than something like Delver.
I think it's a pretty easy deck to win with.
I think it's harder to play than Naya.
I disagree.
Naya Bonfire.
I disagree.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I played Naya Bonfire, and I felt
Put
like I was
Rancor on guy,
day.
protect him. You have spells that pump your guys and spells that protect your guys.
I guess you're right.
Ordering your lands is the difficult part. All right, Mike is going down to 6. Nick is keeping once again.
Nick, always with these keepers.
Well, I mean, I think it's easier to keep in Nick's position because
he's a monocolored deck.
He's a monocolored deck, and you keep whenever you have a creature and some pump spells and subtraction spells. So all you need is one guy, and your spells do all the same things. Like, all your cards practically do the same thing. You have 14 cards that are the exact same, that are all creatures. You have like 18
One of his
spells.
best threats is a land.
Yeah. So
his
like
best threat.
Yeah, it's like a 20-20-20 when all the cards are the exact same. 20 of your cards are the same, 20 of your cards are the same, 20. So you're not looking for the same things, but Mike now is looking for specific answers. He needs Mental Missteps, he needs Gut Shots, he needs Vapor Snags. He also needs some kind of a threat. He needs Snapcaster Mage or Delver Secrets. And I think Mike is a good enough player to know when he has to go to 6 to find the best way to win these games, because you have to interact early.
Mike seems to be happy with his 6.
All right. Cathedral War for Nick Marriott. Mike takes his first turn, and he is so good at getting those Delver Secrets on turn 1.
Yeah, he mulliganed for it.
Yeah, that's just it.
The big problem with game 1 was that he didn't have it.
Yeah, all right. Well, Nick Marriott does not have any Infect in play. He started the game with a Spellskite, flips his Insectile Aberration right off the top, turn 1, gets in for 3. Nick drops to 17. That's not a good combination. Mike is now going to, every single removal, he needs 2 removal spells to interact with the creature, but he also turns the first one into a shock. It's a free shock. So here's an Ichor Clawmere.
Yeah, it looks like Nick has sideboarded out a lot of his pump spells in favor of interactive spells. And that's going to really hinder his ability to just kill Mike out of nowhere.
All right. Nick attacks for 1 damage.
Every point.
Every point. Who knows if you need it?
Spellskite.
Gets in with the one.
Often a toothless monster that'll just put its gums on you awkwardly, but Cathedral of War gives a little bit of a bite. All right, Ichor Clawmere coming in.
Here's 2 damage from Ichor Clawmere. Mike gets 2 infect.
Yep. Cathedral of War is a powerful card.
All right, and another Ichor Clawmere and a Glistener Elf. All right, so I don't see this very often, but Infect is actually swarming.
Not the normal plan of the Infect strategy.
Yeah. So what do you do if you're in Mike's position? I feel like Mana Leak isn't the strongest play, but it's still good. All right, he's going to Mental Misstep, Pain Life on that Glistener Elf.
Yeah, I mean, against Nick's deck, you pay life for every Phyrexian spell. You never know when you're going to chain some instants together.
I mean, it's still great, because if Nick ever tries to do something fishy, Mike is able to go Vapor Snag it. In response, he'll do that to the Spellskite, and then he has a Gut Shot. So here's a Rune Tender's Pike, but he only has 1 in the graveyard. I do want him to, like, waste some of his spells. Here's a Rancor. So here, Mike is probably going to go Vapor Snag. That's going to bounce the Spellskite back to his hand. Ooh, he's not. He's just going to let it resolve. This might be the tournament.
Yep.
Okay, he's going to Mana Leak. All right, that's good. He did need to make sure that didn't resolve. He was just thinking if he wanted to use his Vapor Snag Gut Shot, because if he used that, it would have resolved and the game was over. But now 2 Infect comes in, dropping Mike to only 6 remaining Infect counters. All right. That's 5. That's 1 turn. Nick has 1 turn to deal all the damage he needs, because Mike can play one of his spells to not only make Nick lose 1 life, but also put a counter on, or give the Pike just enough.
Pike a little extra power, yeah.
Just enough to deal damage. And there is nothing in the air. Nick has nothing to interact with that Pike. Mike goes to 6 Infect, but that's game over.
Yep. Mike Prokop, the winner of Star City Games Kansas City.
Yeah. Delver takes it down.
Yeah. Monogreen Infect, despite not losing a match,
He's
throughout
probably
the
wants
tournament.
I'm pretty sure I don't think so, but a possible blessing can't drop that Pike off, right? I'm pretty sure it's a creature you confirm that you control. Yeah. All right, that's it. Mike Prokop wins the tournament.
Yeah. Pretty good stuff.
I mean, I wasn't surprised with that. I think Delver is great, and like as you can see, he mulliganed. He knew that his first hand wasn't going to do it. I bet it was not a mulligan of no lands or all lands. I would assume that he just knew that hand couldn't win. I've got to get my free spells. I got to get my Delver Secrets. Put some pressure on Infect, and that's the way you take it down. Hello, everyone. Welcome back. I'm Brad Nelson. I'm joined by Jacob Van Lunen.
We're here in Kansas City, Missouri, bringing you guys coverage of the Star City Games Open Series. Just finished up watching the standard portion, and Nick Prokop is our Star City Games Kansas City Open champion, playing a Talrend Delver deck.
Yes.
We have a winner. Somebody won a Gen Con badge.
What was the answer?
The answer to our question was Reed Duke.
Whoa. Okay, yeah, it was Reed Duke and Frank Castro. Congratulations, you have yourself a new Gen Con badge at Frank_Castro. We will get in contact with you. We will send you a Gen Con badge, and I hope you have a great 4 days of gaming, fun, cosplay, whatever you're into. It's there. It's all there. So we have a tournament. Are we going to be
fighting?
Are we?
That's what I'm going for.
Yes. All right. We're going to be interviewing the winner in just a minute. You go there for what? Fighting?
The robot fights.
There's robot fights there?
Should be.
I don't think there's robot fights.
Why
I'm sorry.
am I going?
Because there's a lot of magic and fun things to be had. There's the World Cup. There's the Players Championships.
Isn't there also another other game World Championships going on?
Yes, there's all the games and all the championships. So many titles to be won. So much fun to be had.
Fun.
So much Midnight Werewolf to play. There's tons
How
of
are
stuff.
you? Are you
to
a
do.
talented werewolf?
I have barely
Do you
played
eat
ever.
villagers very much?
I do have one good werewolf story, but I've only played twice. I really want to play werewolf a ton though. I think it's awesome. I definitely do level people. We didn't know who the werewolf was, so I took all the drinks we had and I moved. I was like, all right, we need to move these so no one spills them, because we're like using some way for the werewolf to spin it, just so they don't have to point, because we don't have anyone to point, so they have to spin it in a certain direction. And so I moved all the drinks in front of one person, and that person immediately had to move the drinks. So I figured out the werewolf would be aware of the situation fastest, and I picked out my suspicions and then figured it out, and I was like, yeah. But I've only
Nice.
played like once.
Who was the werewolf?
Gail Singatori. She works for us over. She sells the magic cards at the tournaments, and she's an evil werewolf.
Have you ever played with Brian Cole?
No.
He's a talented werewolf.
Yeah.
Tom Martell, also a talented werewolf.
Yeah. I still want to play with these guys, but I have not. But yeah, so Delver
They play at a higher level than I do.
probably.
Yes.
They're very.
I play at like
competitive
a
for it.
campfire level, you know?
All right, so Delver won the tournament. We're going to get that interview real quick here, but the day is not done. What's going to happen is we're going to take a short 2-round break. We're going to get some breakfast, relax a little, enjoy a couple hours, not sitting here, and we'll be back for round 3 of the Legacy tournament. Today we have another probably 8 or 9 rounds of Legacy, followed by the top 8. We're going to be giving away another 3 months of premium, another 6 month premium, and another Gen Con badge. We're going to be watching what everyone has to do with Legacy. I really feel like there's going to be some fun matches. Legacy's always interesting. It's so much more complex. Like all the decisions you have to make, brainstorms, dazes, force of wills.
Brainstorm is a skill-intensive card.
It is. It's so hard to play.
My favorite Magic card by far.
Is it?
My favorite one to play with. My favorite one, like in kind of like a philosophical standpoint, is probably something absurd, but
I mean,
is it Boilerworks or something? But
is it Boilerworks? I could.
But
see
my
you
favorite
liking
Magic
it.
card to actually play is Brainstorm.
Yeah, I don't know what my favorite card is. I think it's probably Squadron Hawk. I really love Squadron Hawk.
Is it Boilerworks? You know, your Ogre Savants and your Steam Pro Weirds.
I just remember. So here's when I knew that this is how I figured out Chapin is a master. So we were at Gen Con, which we do give away 2 badges. So the guy that Castro, I hope you enjoy. We were just hanging out there, and it was right when the set came out, and I was playing a Naya deck without Squadron Hawk, and he's like, you know, that Squadron Hawk is going to be the next big thing. And I'm like, come on, it's not powerful enough. Oh no, I was playing it because it was a Vengevine deck or something, but it wasn't in everything yet. And he's like, that's going to be the new standard. It's just going to be everywhere. I'm like, I don't believe that. And then a month later, I'm like at Worlds, being the only player playing Squadron Hawk. Kibler and I are like the only 2 players playing Squadron Hawk in the entire tournament. We're like, this card is insane. It's so good. It does everything. My opponent in round 1, after Cyborg, he didn't see him yet. He plays Luminarch Ascension. Then I play that. But anyway, that is a story for another time.
Luminarch Ascension not too good against the Squadron Hawks.
Yeah, we do have a winner. He is ready with Glenn in the sideboard. Congratulations again. Take it away.
Hey guys, I'm over here at the sideboard once again, Glenn Jones, and we're here with our winner, Mike Prokop.
Yep.
All right, well, first we've got the trophy. It's right there. It's wonderful,
excited
very
about that.
silvery, shiny.
Yeah.
Yes, it was a fight for the trophy, no splits, all the money on the table, so
Yep.
good fight against one of the faster decks in the format, Poison. Were
Yeah.
you unhappy to be playing Mono Green Infect out of all the decks in the top 8 for this trophy?
It's kind of a toss-up because the ramp deck can just go over the top of you, so
Sure.
it just depends. But I'd beaten Mono Green Effect once yesterday, but it's just such a tense matchup because they can just kill you out of nowhere.
The burden's more on you, whereas Delver gets to put the burden on the opponent
Yeah.
a lot. And this time it's like you have to have all the answers or they're just going to kill you.
Yeah.